Hey everybody, I'm Glenn.
I'm Xander.
And together we are Fun King 3D, and tonight is epic. First and foremost, I hope that this is working because, as most of you guys know, there was a...
No, it's Fun King Epic.
There was a problem with the cameras for the last couple of weeks during the Fun in the Country basement streams, and this week I ended up just blowing everything out of the computer and reconfiguring it all, and so hopefully we have cameras. It actually looks a little dark. Is the image a little dark? It could just be the shadowing of this mammoth machine, because usually we sit more up here, and I do look a little brighter up here. But let me see. Let's just make sure that the cameras aren't angry. Yep, that's all the normal settings. So, okay, so not many people in here yet, but that's okay. We got Jake from State Farm, who is first, and he wins the rights to get to hang out around here. Anthony Lewis, first time I ever made it to a stream before it started. That's much appreciated. We got Shane from Prusa Research is here. Clickbait. It's not clickbait. It's legit.
No, it's clickbait.
Charlatan. Scott Hackmonkey is here. Welcome, Scott. Carl Brown is here. Paul Cumber is here. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Looks good, but there's a huge aquarium in front of the camera. You know, if I could have worked it out where I could have put acrylic sheets in here to enclose it, it would have been awesome, but things would have gotten in the way. So, I have not loaded filament into this. I have lied to the printer and told it to print and let it go through the motions, but with no filament. So this will be the first time that filament has ever gone through there. This could be an epic failure, or it could be a beautiful success. So I'm trying not to use this as a desk because there's moving parts in here now, and I just don't want it to become a problem. So first I'm going to connect into the printer. And I'm going to enter my password of password. And it's not really my password.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is.
I'm going to tell it to home, and then I'm going to move my body parts out of the way. I guess I should move this over to here so I can do and see the chat. That printer is gigantic. It is quite large, and when I was drawing it all, things felt big in the drawing, and then when I printed them, they were tiny. But then when I built this thing, I was like, this is ridiculous. Why in the world would anybody build a printer this large? All right, so I'm going to activate the heater. And I'm going to set it to 200 degrees Celsius, at which time we should be able to load some filament. Yeah, I should have, maybe we should move the chat to that side, put that back on that side, because I can share that screen, but they'd much rather look at you anyway. All right, I'm going to bring the Z up a little bit so that we can start to push some filament in there. Now, my plan is to not use this side of the bed. This is not the bed. This is, as you can see, it's got hardware in it. This is a table leaf out of an IKEA table that I bought as part of what they refer to as a handyman package. And it was really the only large flat object that I had that would fit in here.
First live stream with you guys. Only found your channel about 3 days ago.
Who what?
3D printing newbie.
Did it scroll up?
Yes.
Everybody's gonna start talking too fast now. All right, let me pop out the chat and get it bigger so I can see it. Okay. So if you see something, read it loud and acknowledge people.
Okay. Anthony said I'm building a 300 by 300 hypercube, and thought that was big. Next will be 400 by 400 by 400.
All right, let's try this where you guys can see where I'm working. You don't have to look at us so much.
Can Xander?
It will be. It is going to make its debut at Orlando Maker Faire, which is why I've been scrambling, which is why I was really bad about not filming as much of this assembly process as I should have.
Can Xander lay down inside of the FK-1 and fit inside?
He cannot, but Zach could. Zach would fit in there. Zach is taller than the bed is long, but I could print his body as one and his head as a separate. Wait, what? You're gonna print now? Yes, I'm gonna print now on top of this table.
Hey, Sean.
I have not set up like a macro for loading the filament or anything fancy like that. So I'm going to just manually run the gear.
You might want to take that off.
What?
The camera.
It's only going to move this far.
Oh. So it's only printing right there?
Yep, just right here, because this bed is not level. It from this point to this point is off by about 3 millimeters. So it just prints midair over here. I wasn't going to set up a bed leveling for this when it isn't the bed. The actual bed will be here on Monday.
Are we printing a benchy?
We are printing a benchy.
Benchy. Benchy. Yay, benchy.
What's that? A benchy? Well, yeah, I'm familiar with benchies because I have so many. So it will tell me if it's working right. This could take me a long time to manually run this filament through. I will definitely be writing a macro for this. And the first filament is gooping out of there. Aha!
Can I have it? Can I have it?
That is the first filament to ever run through the FK-1. And no, you cannot have it.
I would have sworn when you said print, if you would have said print, I would have...
Yes, that's it, folks. We've printed now and we're done. No, keep reading the table leaf leveling. Yes, auto table leaf leveling. International Space Station. I too am super excited. All right, filament is loaded. I'm gonna do it. I hope you guys are ready for this.
If it blows up, I blame you entirely.
Oh, it could epically fail.
Yeah, I might go, like, stand outside just in case it does blow up.
Alright, it's homing. It's homing.
X-Men, 2 weeks and counting. You guys better tighten up. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. For Orlando? For Orlando. Oh. Oh, hey, Sean.
Sean better be here. We're running some IC3D PLA through this bad boy. All right. It's going down to do the auto leveling. I'm going to try to...
let's see what this does. It does something,
If the focus is not good, you guys got to let me know.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
It's not sticking. Oh, maybe it is. Oh, no, it's just got a tail. I didn't clean the nozzle. No! There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
it's like sticking on half.
Yeah, I think that's not too good.
What hot end are you using?
This is an E3D V6, 24 volt. It is a, oh, I left brim on. It's printing a brim.
The German 3D printing nerd is.
It is not. It is not sticking. So, in fairness, I'm going to stop it.
Yeah, you might want to do that. Mraz. We are printing our version of H-Boy's pistol, the Good Samaritan on Tornado, ATM. What is everyone else printing? I don't know anymore.
I don't know. This part of it was sticking down pretty good.
Who is the
Sucks not having a heated bed.
Who is the glue stick sponsor?
The glue. Well, I have Magic Glue. I just hate to put Magic Glue on tape. But that might be the next option. And the glue stick would actually be the one that came with my Prusa, because I don't typically use glue stick. All right, so look at Xander for a few minutes. He's going to read the chat. You guys can tell cute stories. I'm going to walk back to the other machine and reslice that without a brim, because that's annoying. And we'll try it one more time.
Hey Martin. Hey Patrick. Hey Don. Let's see.
Don't have your fingers in there because I'm going to rehome it.
The live stream is brought to you by Elmer's glue stick. Yeah, I don't think so. That thing needs a volcano.
Well, the volcano wasn't really an option when I started planning all of this.
Is your workshop in a garage or spare room in the house? It's a spare room.
It's my whole upstairs, pretty much.
Yeah. Hey Noah and Joshua.
Let's up the heat on that a little bit too.
Maybe it will stick better if you put the tape sticky side up. Me? Dip, 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 dip. X-Men, you want me to bring the clippers? I'll be cutting our hair over this weekend as we get No, I'm good. I'd rather not.
It is a cute little thing, isn't it?
Yeah, what is he? She's so small.
International Space Station says, I wish I had a cool dad like you.
No, you don't.
Wow. Alright, we're going to try attempt number 2. So it should be heating back up now.
Thanks, Sean.
You're an angel for letting Glenn make this crazy thing. Oh, I tell her that all the time. All the time. This, you know, I gotta be honest, like, I almost have a little anxiety that it's almost done, because my life has been, like, so full of this, and then all of a sudden, when it's done, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna have to sit on my thumbs because it'll take 10 days to print things. Ooh, I could print bathroom tiles. Alright, so it's I resliced it, I upped the temp a little bit, and I took the brim off of it. Should I put glue stick down? Is that the general consensus?
Trust me, my dad always funded my projects, but never really enjoyed helping me out. I don't help out, so...
Yeah. Xander doesn't enjoy helping with the projects either. He just wants whatever comes out of it. I had to guilt him into being on this live stream tonight because he's like, oh, we got to be up early in the morning. It's like 7:30 at night.
You shut up.
He's an 80-year-old man.
You shut up right now.
Time for documentation. That is true, Scott. There is going to be a lot of, like, the build of materials and stuff, because I built all of that during the design, and then, of course, things changed. And so, yeah, all of that kind of stuff for future builders. I got glue stick right here. It is Cores. I don't know, the one that came with my Prusa.
And sad stories.
And I gotta try to sneak it in here. I can't get it. All right, that's it. That's what it gets.
Hopefully it sticks.
Oh, there's a chunk of crap sticking off.
Of course there is.
No, and I wasn't fast enough. Whoever designed this hot end just made everything too tight a tolerance. I think it's okay now. Let's punch back over.
It's 0:48 here in the UK. I don't know what that means.
Time, honey.
I know it's time, but it's just we don't.
48 minutes after midnight.
Okay, just we don't have a.
Oh look, I could test my blood. I stabbed myself. I stabbed myself with the tweezers. These tweezers are like so fine point, and I grabbed them so quickly that the FK-1 has now shed blood.
Ron Floyd is here.
Hello, Ron Floyd.
I love projects. How many printers do you have? 1, 2.
Don
3,
is here.
4,
Hello,
5,
Don.
6.
7. The
7.
Galaxy X1's over there.
I'm not counting that one. That's a disgrace.
The X1 prints beautifully.
Oh no, this one's a disgrace.
That's the part cooling fan. Kicks on the second layer.
This one's a disgrace.
So, my apologies that you guys can't really see what it's doing.
Motion sickness warning.
You're gonna hold it the whole time? It's gonna print for like an hour. So blood, sweat, and tears for the FK-1. Well, there has been sweat because I had to cut all the aluminum outside in the garage. There were tears, but they were tears of joy. And now blood. Looks like your Z offset is too high. It's very possible. I haven't really like dialed it in, but I'm taking it for now. I was trying to get the bed set to the middle of the height adjusted to the middle of the bed, and then I found out it was off by 3 millimeters. So, but again, the actual bed is to be delivered on Monday. So all 19 pounds of it.
Not using the 5-pound spool.
I am not, Sean. I'm saving that 5-pound spool for Orlando Maker Faire. But it is BB-8 orange IC3D
No,
PLA.
it's 8BB orange.
8BB. Hello, Noah and Joshua. Wow, I'm glad that you guys are all here. This is a very monumental moment. I have been working on this for so stupidly long.
Yes, it's kind of sad how long you've been working.
I am working right now with an IGUS rep about getting some IGUS cable chains for this thing. The ones I printed aren't quite big enough, and I don't really want to go through the process of reprinting all of them because they took a stupidly long time. Plus, by having actual cable chains, I think they'll be a little bit smoother. You guys can't really see. I made that hot end. I made that whole hot end assembly very tight. Everything is very, very tight. There's no flop in there. I'm going to click back to that camera just so I don't give you guys motion sickness as I wing this thing around. I have to be very careful as not to unplug that. It's on an extension cable. Yeah. But if it unplugs, I won't be able to fire it back up. On the stool, yeah.
That's printing awfully fast.
Well, I didn't build a slouchy printer.
That is going way too fast.
You guys let me know if that focus is all right or if I need to tweak it.
I see 3D. What is IC3D?
Oh, I'm glad that you asked about IC3D. IC3D is actually one of the sponsors of the FK-1 project.
That worked out so well.
I'm going to leave this where you can see this and you can't really see me, and that's fine. But I do want to take this opportunity to give a huge, huge shout out to everybody that supported this project. I mean, obviously we have, and I should have my. My sponsors on there.
You got my.
Yeah, I have that one up there, and I have this one over here. Like, this is a love note. Absolutely, I told you I like the note, but no, seriously, guys, I want to thank obviously IC3D for being cool enough to
Bondtech do
not only like hook us up with the filament, but also to custom make it from scratch in the exact color we wanted.
Printed solid, open builds,
Duet
country
3D, which it was under the recommendation of the community that I went with the Duet board as opposed to a 9C board. And,
Duet 3D. Do it.
I'm not sorry at all. Huge thank you to you guys for sending not only the board but also the panel due. It has it's been an awesome learning experience. Plus, once I got comfortable with it, holy cow, is it an amazing system. Bondtech for the extruder, and hopefully I never have to find out how strong that extruder truly is. But as I understand, it would lift this entire printer. This is going to be an ugly benchy, but it's booking.
Powered by Duet 3D.
Why?
Just do it.
Well, it's just going to go. So, huge thanks to Paris at Ant Collabs for the BL Touches. And again, another learning experience, but now that I've had one and I know what it does, I want to put it on every printer I own.
I don't think we have anything for printed solid.
The folks over at, I probably have one of their stickers, or I have shirts, but a huge thanks to the guys at Open Builds for covering the shipping on my aluminum, which saved between $70 and $80.
Printed solid. It's solidly printed.
E3D, who was my first sponsor to jump on board and sent me the hot end for this bad boy. And then, of course, for their wisdom in telling me that I'm an idiot and making me change the design for the better. Walter over at Country 3D for sponsoring the stepper motors.
You can have that back now.
And the latest corporate sponsor being Printed Solid, who is sponsoring the PEI sheet custom cut in one piece to fit a 48-inch by 16-inch bed, which is awesome. And the
amazing Scott McClellan one.
And Scott McClellan, well, there's others who have sent stuff, but Scott McClellan has single-handedly sent like 99% of the whole entire wiring harness on this printer, which was amazing. And then
never say his last name right.
McClellan?
McClellan.
It's not and then there was a lot of other people who supported us and sponsored us. I mean, Sholm from Askewed View 3D supported us financially. Also retracted one of his messages before I got to see it. So let me punch back over here so you guys can see this thing fail. Or make it, I don't know. It is an ugly benchy.
That is a very ugly benchy.
We've had layer shift, and I'm curious to know what. I didn't even look to see what the speed was set at.
Now Glenn might have time to send me a package. What do you mean, Don? What do you mean? Wait, what?
Just so that nobody sees his address. You mean this package right here, Don? With this here customs form that's together? That's been... I'm up in the corner. I'm small, but on their screen it's alright. right, where are you, speed? Well, it claims that it's printing at 60 millimeters a second, but it seems to be going a lot faster than that.
Can I show that off?
No.
No? Okay.
It does seem to be moving quite hastily, and it is turning out to be a ugly benchy. Send it to Chris Riley. Well, I can't send him my first one ever. Yes, I don't care if it's ugly. It's the first print ever off of this, and there has been no tweaking, no tuning, no nothing. I don't want to put a lot of time into trying to fine tune it on a bed that's going to change in just a few days. I just really wanted to see this thing push some filament. But this seems like it's moving way faster than 60 millimeters a second. I wonder if we slow it down. I'm going to pull it down to 75% and see. We'll see if it becomes more lovely now. Now it's like a normal speed. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And it's printing. Objective completed.
True. All right. Well, that's the end of the stream then. That's the beauty of the BL Touch. Your Z offset will barely change with different surfaces. That's true. It shouldn't, in theory, change at all as long as it's straight across. But I mean, like, I didn't even go through the slicer settings. So I don't know if you guys, if all of you follow me on Twitter or if you've seen the tweet that I made. I posted a small video of me trying to slice something in Slicer Prusa edition, and when I fed it the specs for the size of the bed, it came up fine, and I can put an item on the bed, but as soon as I go to move it, it shoots off the bed, and you can't bring the item back to the bed without pushing the button, the arrange all or whatever it is to put it back on there, and so I have to believe that Slicer just can't handle the size of the print bed. So I went to Cura, which I do use Cura for the AM8 because for some reason the code that generates out of Slicer doesn't work with the AM8. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that yet, but so I'm not a heavy Cura user anymore. Like, I've gotten really used to Slicer Prusa edition, and so once again I'm learning. I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, try what's the one you got to pay for?" Somebody say it.
I only follow Chris Riley on Twitter.
Yeah. What?
One res. I asked this before, and I'm going to ask again. What is a G code? What is a good G code?
Oh, Notepad++ is the best G code editor. Like, if you're just looking to go in and tweak things, get Notepad, which just for daily life on a computer, Notepad++, because it won't blitz your text files and stuff. Simplify 3D. I wanted to keep calling it Slice 3D, but I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah.
But now, if you're looking to edit, like remodel a file that's already a G code, I don't even think that's possible. I know some of the slicers can pull G code back in, but I don't think you can then that you can edit them at all, like as far as modeling. So, but I know that some people have said to simplify 3D, and I've got a chance to put my hands on it and try it. I'm not comfortable with it, and that might be why I don't like it as of now. But we'll see what they do with the new version that's coming out soon. But I don't know if I can choke down $150 for a slicer.
150?
Yeah, when all the rest of them are free. Oh. I honestly haven't used another slicer since Simplify 3D. I do want to try Slicer PE, though. Well, Prusa's doing a great job with it. I mean, but obviously everything they do is based around their printers, and that makes sense. You know, I mean, but obviously it does not handle a 1200 by 400 millimeter bed. It just freaks out, and the prints go zinging off of there.
Bang!
Yeah, I can't tell if it's better or if it's just less ugly than it was before. It is a hideous Benji. But in fairness,
bye, Sean.
Oh, bye, Sean. In fairness, had I fired this up for the first time ever and it printed like a perfect Benji, it sounds like it's running into it. It's dragging the nozzle through it. But had it printed like the most perfect Benchy, somebody would have accused me of cheating. So.
Wait, what do you mean? Why?
Well, there's no way you're going to custom build a printer from the ground up and have never printed and poof, it prints a perfect Benchy.
I know, but still, it could happen.
Yeah, the nose is all rolled up on this thing, and my wind mouth, my fan duct is so low that it's grabbing where it's peeling up. it's an ugly Benchy.
But it's probably your
Glenn, you'll get your money worth out of it, and now you have a printer that might need it. Well, I don't know that it needs it. I could buckle down and just learn Cura, and Cura is coming leaps and bounds from where it was. Yeah, the wind mouth is grabbing on the boat. It's an artistic Benchy? Yeah, it's artistic. I think it's an autistic Benchy. I still haven't printed a Benchy. Maybe I'll bite the bullet finally and print one when I'm done with the... You know, it's funny. I always said that it was such a dumb model. I'm not going to print that dumb boat that everybody prints. And now I print them all the time. Plus, I got a bag of them from Chris Riley. I'm just not even sure. Okay, so the nozzle or the extruder has never been calibrated on this. I mathematically chose a multiplier for it, which could be a lot of the problems that it's having right now. It does seem, I mean, it's now running at 75%, and it's a great speed, as where when it was running 60 millimeters a second, it was running fast. So all of the axes need to be calibrated, which I'm not going to do until the actual bed is on here and level. There's a lot of things that could go wrong that I didn't really take into consideration before I pushed print. What's not funny, my autistic Benchy? I'm just wanting to edit the thickness of an item I'm printing from like 0.5 to 0.7. Well, you could up your no, I don't know. I don't know how you would do that once it's G-code without manually going through it. I really don't like Cura. What I don't like about Cura is, and there's an issue with all of them, but like it's half of the settings are in with the filament and half of them are with the part, and I want them to be the other way. You know, it's just the way it stores stuff, I guess. And then there's so many settings. It is definitely under extruding.
Yeah, thanks.
I can't wait to see it print something huge. Well, again, I posted on Twitter. I blew up a Benchy to be 475 millimeters tall, which is just under 1,000%. It's like 998 point something percent scale. And it told me that it was going to take 10.5 days
What?
to print it. 10.5 days. That's from Cura. Now we know Cura lies. Cura's estimates are never accurate. So I'm thinking probably 13 or 14 days.
No.
But in fairness, that's 20% infill and a 0.4 nozzle at a 0.2 layer height. So it would be an epic benchy, but I think that if I go to a 0.8 nozzle or even a 1 millimeter nozzle and cut my infill down, I could probably get that number down. It is hideous. Yeah, well, you know, Cura, you can turn off, like, you can go in and turn off certain settings. Like, you don't have to see them all. But it's just stupid because it's got, like, what do you want your temperature to be? Well, I want it to be 210 degrees. Well, what do you want it to start printing at? 210 degrees? Well, what do you want it to print at in the middle? Still 210 degrees. And what would you like the final printing temperature to be? Oh, I don't know, maybe 210 degrees?
No, I want it to be fine.
Video looks a little out of focus. Okay, I can, if I can figure out what I did with the mouse. Why do you keep going in the filament cabinet like it's going to change?
Find your secrets.
Are you looking for a snack?
Yeah.
How's that? Is that good focus? Let me know. Print the giant benchy and bring it to Maker Faire. Okay, so let's do the math on this. It wouldn't be complete by then. Yeah, Simplify 3D is well simple. It gives you the options you need, nothing really for you to mess up. I think it's the layout. Maybe it was the wording or something. Again, I might have to just bite the bullet. I didn't have much time to play in it. So I'll find somebody that's got it and put some button seat time and maybe watch a few YouTube videos. You know, I don't really like those YouTube videos though. They're always really annoying.
I can't find any snacks.
Yeah, get out of the filament cabinet and quit hanging on the doors like that.
I'm looking for some snacks.
They're not in there.
You starved me to death, so that's the only place I can look.
Yeah, you look like you're starved to death.
Wow, I'm leaving. Nope, I'm done. Nope.
You know what kind of dinosaur my son is?
So see ya. See ya. I'm done.
Quit doing that. I just said you didn't look like you were starving.
Yeah, whatever. You thinked it.
Yeah. Cura, initial start middle is weird. Initial start middle, yeah. Well, it's funny, Anthony, because most of the people that say that are the people who already paid for Simplify 3D and they don't want to go back. I'm just teasing. So I don't know. I'll definitely give it some more seat time and see, you know, what it does for me.
What time is it, Dad?
It is 12 after 8.
I should probably go down.
You should, yes. We're going to excuse Xander out tonight because we are leaving very early in the morning. So, someone hangry? That's Shane from Prusa Research, who needs to be at Orlando Maker Faire on November 10th and 11th at the Central Florida Fairgrounds. You know, Shane, even if Prusa doesn't want to like send all the stuff and set up, just come and hang out with us at our booth. It'll look like we're collaborating. Yeah, something's definitely not right. I'm getting a massive amount of layer shift. So I don't know if I got a belt slipping. Yeah, it may be my acceleration may be too high. That motor's moving a lot of weight. And the X motor actually drives 2 belts. And I know that if I make it take off too fast, that it skips a couple of teeth, or steps in the stepper.
Bye.
So, bye. Good night. You could have told everybody bye before you derobed. I wonder how many car batteries it would take to make it portable. Well, oddly enough, no more than any other printer. It doesn't necessarily consume any more power than any other printer. Once I put the heater on the bed, that will be different because it is a 120 volt AC heater for the bed. So, what kinematics does the printer run? I don't even know what you're asking me. Oh, they seen you changing your shirt, Xander. Seen Xander's man boobs. Mr. Prusa, please come to Maker Faire. Well, as I understand it, Joseph will not be there. But the push right now is to at least get Shane from Prusa to be there and to display. Or a treadmill with a couple of kids running on it to create power. The day is not over yet, Shane. I realize you did not get the daily reminder yet, but the day is not over. Oh, Cartesian Core XY Delta. Ah, okay. Well, I've actually never heard that term, so I got to learn something new today. That's awesome. This is actually known as the Core FK because it technically isn't anything. It's closest to Cartesian. But as opposed to the bed moving, all of the movement is in this plane right here. This whole entire assembly moves up and down for Z, and the X and Y run on that particular frame. So in a live stream, we all decided one night that it was going to be called Core FK. I guess there's a printer out there that does something similar. I forget what it's called. Maybe it's called an HBot. Mother of all layer shift? Yes, it definitely layer shifted. Let me see if I can get that in just a touch closer. My camera stand doesn't want to stay down. It keeps springing back up. You guys let me know if that's a better view or not. Hello, Bennett. Brian Vines, yes, it's working. I hope you've seen my my air quotes there. Is that a bungee? It's more like a recce. Yeah, it is awful. What is actually these upper layers? Ever since I turned the speed down, the upper layers aren't nearly as bad. I'm going to have to figure out, again, everything needs to be calibrated still, but what is the benchy that Chris Riley made? He calls it like the Walter benchy, I think. This may actually beat the Walter benchy for hideousness. The motor current is currently set to 950, I believe. So are you thinking that it needs to be more so that it doesn't skip the steps like that? That would make sense. Oh yeah, I know it is. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear that motor skipping steps. And that would be the X motor. Let's call it shifty. Stenchy. Yeah, I can hear the X motor skipping. It's a little bit warm to the touch. It's not, I mean, not anything, like just a little warmer than room temperature. So I would think that I could up the current on that a little bit. It's reading right about 33 Celsius. The Z is 29. I had to find the Y motor. 32 for the Y. 32 for the extruder. Pump it up. Yeah, so I would think that I could get by with turning that current up. So I will try that. We won't do it tonight because again, I got to be up really early in the morning. So I got to be like, you know, an old person and go to bed really, really early. Let's just say I wouldn't take this boat out because there's holes in the deck. It would sink. Only been 3D printing about 6 weeks, but I've really got the bug. Saving for a Prusa MK3 now. You won't be sorry. You will not be sorry buying a Prusa printer. Being you're new, I can tell you the story, even though I've told it a billion times. But I ordered my Prusa MK2S, and there was a 9-week back order on it at the time, and I was impatient, and I ordered the A8. And I got my A8, and it was a wonderful learning experience. And I had that thing dialed in so well and printing so well by the time my Prusa showed up that I was disappointed with the Prusa. But of course, once I spent time getting that all dialed into, it was fine. But that is now my go-to printer. My Prusa is, and it has printed every piece that is on this printer. It almost looks like the nozzle is dragging across the print. Well, that's only because the print's rolling up. I don't know. I can't tell. Y motor, why not? Either that or put some more acceleration distance or slow the rate. Well, I definitely need to turn the acceleration down because again, it's moving a lot of weight. I want to say that carriage weighs like 9 pounds total, if I remember right from when I was building it. And that was without the wire and without any cable chain drag on it. So I will definitely get that tweaked in and bump the current up just a little bit. So thank you, Sean. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that you got to tune in to see this epic moment. You make sure that you let everybody over at IC3D know that it printed IC3D first and that I am truly, truly, truly grateful for everything you guys have done. Suffering deserves company. I'm happy with my Ender 3, but I wish I had a Prusa. So I'm working at $10.50 an hour and wanted it. The Ender 3 is not a bad choice. Again, a little bit of tuning. It needs some tweaking to get it right. But if you take that time and get it tweaked, that's a good little machine. So thank you, Anthony. Thank you for being here. My Prusa is still my go-to as well. Going to add another to the stable. You won't be sorry. Obviously, you'll know that. I upgraded mine to the 2.5, and it was a magnificent upgrade, well worth it. I still have to dial it in more because my tolerances were so perfect on the 2.5 or the 2S, and now that it's at the 2.5, I got to get it worked back in again. So I've got the A82. I love building the kit, and I've learned loads from it. And it can actually be a good printer. If you haven't already, make sure you put the Marlin firmware on it so that you can enable the safety features so that it doesn't burn your house down. But I get magnificent prints. I've now upgraded mine to the AM8 with the aluminum extrusion frame, which I took a a record-winning sprint of 7 months to finally do. I tore it down. It took me 7 months to put it back together just because life, everything got busy. So, but I do have videos on my channel about that. Maybe you'll need to upgrade the belt to a heavier belt. I looked into it, and by manufacturer specification, 2 GT2 belts should carry this just fine. So, but definitely a good thought. Little bed never seems to stay level, and about over extrusion. Yeah, bed level is a tough monster, mainly with the printers from overseas, but not hard to add a BL Touch sensor to them. Got to keep Shane employed too. Darn right. I have an Ender 3 and a Prusa MK3. MK3 is amazing, but that Ender constantly surprises me. Also keeps the kids away from my precious Prusa. My precious. I have coffee. Someone sent me donuts. Don't mention donuts. I love donuts, and I can't have them anymore. That poor Benchy, though. My shifty boat. No, you better bet it's going up there on the shelf with all the rest of them. I've got the Marlin firmware and MOSFET and upgraded PSU. Looking at the AM8 upgrade and the E3D V6 too. Awesome. Yeah, I did put the MOSFETs. I'm not 100% convinced that they were necessary. I did it more as a safety for the board so that the board didn't cook. I did go to a heavier gauge wire and a like 10 amp higher power supply. I think they come with a 20 and I went to a 30. So the bed definitely heats faster now. So I do want to put, this hot end came with the stock 30 watt heat cartridge. I want to go to a 40 on it though, because it takes forever to get that nozzle up to temperature. I have a 40 on the Prusa. I'm using up the last of my 6 rolls of IC3D gray PLA to reprint my son's Halloween prop. Yay, filament runout sensor. Well, I'm really thinking that a mosaic palette needs to go on this thing so that I don't have to try to pull a 10-pound spool of filament. I can put in, 4 rolls, 4 or 5-pound rolls, or, just 4 regular rolls and let it splice it together automatically. That Benchy needs to be mounted with an official placard. I might work that out. I might have already kind of had a thought about that. Carl Brown, NAC 3D Designs, actually sent me a roll of Poly Alchemy that I keep in the locked key cabinet there. Not really, it's not locked, but sent me this lovely roll of the yellow, and I forget what they call their yellow. Days, summer days, and I didn't want to use any PLA on the printer itself because I didn't want to have to worry about the heat during transport, but I wanted to make a display for it, and that is likely going to be incorporated into that. So, and it is hideous. Yeah, I can hear it clicking. So I will slow the acceleration down a little bit and up the current on that motor. If you're showing us stuff, switch to your cam. No, you got to lean way in and look at the little picture up in the corner. Should get a set of these Superman glasses like I wear. I guess I could have held it right here so you could have seen it. Once you get the heated bed for the FK-1, are you going to make an attachment with a spatula so I can flip pancakes and burgers? Awesome tailgate grill. Well, oddly enough, I'm going to put a bed on this without a heater. The heater is the only thing that I wouldn't be able to reuse should this just completely fail. Should it become not a great printer, I can cut the bed into smaller beds. I can cut all this aluminum down and make it a smaller printer, etc., etc. That heater is a one-time shot. So I haven't even ordered it yet. I've got the invoice waiting to be paid, and then they'll make it and ship it. But yeah, it's gonna be a last add-on. In fact, it won't have a heated bed for Orlando Maker Faire. It's gonna just have to print PLA on glue stick. All those brackets came out really nice too, Glenn. Thank you. I'm very pleased with it. I'm pleased with it overall. The corner brackets I had all around, and then I found out they were actually in the way of the Z-axis, and I took them off and then determined I didn't even really need them on there. They're more for aesthetics, but everything is beautiful. It all looks fantastic. So, and you guys in the main camera, you're looking at the back of the printer. I'm at the front. I've got the control over here, just so that I can control it. But I run my A8 from an Octoprint, which I've added a filament sensor to, so it pauses if the filament runs out. Absolutely. I will be adding Octoprint to this too, because I like the interface as far as uploading files better than the Duet. I don't like to have to save out of the slicer and then upload the file. I like the fact that I can go right from my slicer to Octoprint. So I will be putting one on this. Every other printer that I have has one. So, and I've been actually putting an Octoprint on every printer because that's the way I am. And now that I've watched Chris Riley's videos about running multiple printers off of one Pi, I may go ahead and do that. Looks nice and it's working. Just a little tuning. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, I won't say that it's working. It's spewing filament. It is ugly. But it is definitely the X that's skipping. And again, that's a heavy carriage for what it's moving. So, plus it's got to drag that chain. If only somebody would figure out how to make this wireless. And I was jokingly around, when I started to build the harness for this, it's so massive. And I said, somebody should come up with a system that uses a CAN bus. So you could just run one wire to the extruder and one cable, like one network cable. And apparently Duet 3D has been working on it. So, which is awesome. I can't take credit for it. They were already in production by the time I came up with the idea, but Octoprint is a must, although Astroprint is also interesting. I tried Astroprint way back before I got into Octoprint, and I can't remember what it was about Astroprint that I didn't like on what made me go to Octoprint, but I'm so comfortable with Octoprint now. I don't know. Again, I'm old, and I don't like change. Spewing filament making benchy shaped blob. I don't even know if it's officially benchy shaped. I'm glad that Daniel Noré isn't in here. This would be kind of a slap in the face. What's happening is when this moves, you hear it like funk, 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 funk. The motor's just not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a
yeah, I guess it's right. You can tell it's a benchy.
It's not like, spaghetti block.
Is the focus good on that? It doesn't look good to me, but that's because the monitor I use with my OBS software on it is really an old crappy monitor, and so nothing ever looks good on that to me. So yeah, funk, funk, funk. I don't know. Like, see if I can lean in here and let you guys hear it. Now it won't do it because I'm here. There. Did you hear that? The thing is so stupid quiet. Everything is so smooth and so quiet. And then there's this loud, loud fan in the power supply. And it just whoo. Of course, the part fan is equally as loud as the power supply fan, but like I don't even like to leave it just sitting running off in the distance because of that fan. So I'm probably going to take that power supply apart, which will void my warranty, but take it apart and put a Noctua fan in there. I'm excited to have you guys in here. I'm excited that my live stream's working, and hopefully it holds true for Fun in the Country Basements now. Got 31 concurrent viewers right now, and I appreciate every one of you guys. Even the ones that say mean things about me behind my back. I don't know if that's true. I was making that up. A little off topic, but is there anyone following the World Series? Holy crap, that's not a little off topic. No, I'm just kidding. The only baseball I follow is Zach playing baseball. And he's not very good at it yet. I just want to see him hit the ball. He's done it a couple of times, but I haven't been there the times that he did it. So, the cabling, I don't know if you guys watched that Fun in the Country basement where I spent multiple hours working on one end of this thing, putting the equalizer cable on, but it works fantastically. So, through a series of ropes and pulleys, and it's actually steel leader material for fishing, because it was the smallest wire rope I could find, and 6 pulleys. It actually, these two bars pull on each other. So if you push down on this one, it pushes down on that one at the same time, and it works awesome. And I'm wondering if it would be feasible to do the same thing from left to right, just on the backside. Because technically, if this is stable and this is stable, and I make this stable, then this should automatically fall into place. So, oh, come on, Glenn, we say them to your face too. I would hope so. I would hope that anything that you ever want to say to me or about me behind my back, that you would say it to me. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about this whole equalizer cable thing. I hope that it takes off and more printers start to do it, so that someday in the future I can say, yep, that was my idea. Unless somebody else has already done it, which I haven't seen. I was going to use a GT2 belt for that as well, but because of the width of the belt, it took up more space than I had. Someone needs to model a Benchy with Chris Riley's face on the bow and a ponytail on the stern and call it the SS Riley. That's pretty funny. Similar to Octoprint, but ties into a cloud service. That's what I didn't like about it. Because it used the cloud. I hate anything that depends on the internet to work. That's what it was. That was exactly what it was. So the feature you like was a feature that I want to avoid. Yeah, I'm actually... originally, when I reached out to Duet, I had asked them for the Duet Ethernet. And they ended up sending me the Duet Wi-Fi. And at first, I was like, oh, I really wanted the Ethernet. And then I played with the Wi-Fi, and I'm like, okay, it's great. But I have an issue with one of my access points. And it's my fault. It's not Duet's fault. But I have an issue with one of my access points in the house where it just acts up once in a while. And it causes me grief with my machinery. So I just took it out of the network. I unplugged it, and now everything is fine. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to putting an Octopi on here, and I cable all of those. I hardline them. All right, I've got some homework to do. Can't wait to see the finished blob. I can't wait to see it at Maker Faire. I look forward to seeing you at Maker Faire as well. Definitely come and see it, and you know, put a finger on it so you can say that you touched the FK-1. Hello, Trolling for Dollars. Adam says, when you have clouds, you get rain. True, true. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. I mean, it looks impressive if nothing else. Even if it never prints, it looks super impressive. And I said if it didn't print by Maker Faire, that I would fake it. I would put something on the bed as though it printed it and be like, oh yeah, I just got done printing that a little while ago. Octoprint on the MK3, but Astroprint. I'm not telling you you're wrong, Scott. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use it. No, you go to what works for you. I like to avoid that whole cloud thing. And you know, it's probably completely possible to use it without the cloud interface, but as soon as I see cloud, I get scared because if I'm home and my internet goes down and then I can't use it to print, you know what I mean? So, but I'm sure it's not like that. I hate swapping SD cards. So, hello, Uncle Ron. Yes, it is alive. It is printing a, what did we decide it was called? Shifty. The Benchy's brother, Shifty. Looking kind of good. I don't think good is the word that we want to use there, but thank you for keeping it family friendly. I always run cable whenever possible. Absolutely. I've got a hub down in here. Sorry, a switch. That's how old I am. And it runs all of the Octopies on here. This guy, I haven't really decided on how all this is going to work out placement-wise, but this will have its own Pi. It will have its own network connection, and it will have its own battery backup. Because right now, all of these share a battery backup, and I don't want that kind of responsibility for this baby. Looks like it's creating stalactites. Oh, 3D Medic Vince is here. Hello, Vince. Evening Glenn made it for the inaugural print. Absolutely. I almost feel like I should just leave this thing stream for like the next 12 hours so everybody has a chance to come in and see it. At least you didn't say you had an MAU. Oh. No, but when was the last time that you bought a network hub? There haven't been hubs in like 15 years. Maybe longer. Everything's a switch now. And Walter's in the house. I know, right? I know it is about time. But you know what's really great? I'm like 2 weeks early. I had 2 more weeks. So, and I'm going to need it to get this dialed in. I said, Walter, I think this beats the Walter Benchy that Chris Riley did. Cloud Slicer is optional, otherwise very similar to Octoprint, although it does have the ability to print straight from Thingiverse. Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh. All right, I will look back into it. I will be open-minded enough to look into it again. Does it run on the Pi? Can you set it up on the Pi? I can't remember that either, so. Now you can tune it, absolutely. Well, the bed, I'm going to wait till the bed is here. The bed will be here on Monday, and then I have to drill it and tap it, which is nerve-wracking because let me get my test piece and show you guys what I'm doing. It's probably not the best way, but I don't want screw heads coming up through the bed. So I'm actually drilling, I know it's not going to be in focus, but I'm drilling blind holes, and so they don't come through, and then tapping them, and the screws will come up from underneath. So what I do is I set my drill press to drill all the way down except for about 1 millimeter or 1/2 millimeter from the end, and then I drill, and then I have another drill bit that I've ground the tip off of, and I go in and I square out the bottom of the hole. And I did the same with the tap. I have a tap that I start the hole with, and then I have another one that I filed the point off of, and I tap it out. So, and it's definitely not the easiest way, but I really didn't want screw holes coming through. I may reevaluate that now that I know that I have a piece of PEI coming for it. So where do you need to start on the dial-in process? I have to turn the acceleration down on the X for sure, and turn the current up on the X. That's where the layer shifts are coming from. Yeah, Walter, how are you feeling? Poppy Ron's in here? Uncle Ron, where's Poppy Ron? Oh, is he just watching? Is that my bed or my pre? Yes, I have premature extrudation. This is a table leaf from an IKEA table. So, no, the bed will be here Monday. It took a long time for them to process it and ship. And they were not very good about getting back to email requests. I'm not going to tell people not to shop there because their prices blew everybody else out of the water. I mean, they were like $70 cheaper than the next cheapest I could find, and half of what it would have cost me to buy locally. So I'm not going to say don't buy from them, but like I didn't get a purchase confirmation email or an order confirmation email, nothing. I emailed them twice, and then they finally emailed me back with a shipping number. Like, the shipping number had been generated right then before they emailed me back. So, yes, I did know you can buy bottom taps, but the price on it was ridiculous compared to just filing the tip off of the ones I bought. I paid like $3 for the one that I filed the tip off of, and they were like $20 for the bottoming tap. No, I wasn't gonna wait. I ran the test print. I ran the test print a couple of times. I was trying to do it here in the middle of the bed, but it was about 3 millimeters above the bed air printing. Then I realized that this piece of wood is not level. It sags here in the middle. So when I did it here, it was much better. I've calibrated the BL Touch probe like 10 times trying to get it right to turn out that it was the bed. So, but then I figured at that point we might as well fire up and run some filament through it. So my printer bought Plus V1 printed better, and it had horrible C-wobble. What are you talking about? I'm printing a beautiful benchy here that is now lifting up off the bed and splitting, and it's gonna fail. I have the same table, Leaf, and my wife would kill me. Well, okay, in fairness, we don't own this table. Every once in a while when you go into an IKEA, or at least our local IKEA, they have these handyman carts that's just a bunch of panels and shelves and crap that they can't use. And so I pay like $5 for a whole entire cart full of stuff and turn it into other stuff. The truth is I just have a big pile of this crap in my garage. I don't turn it into anything, so I had to quit buying the handyman carts. Oh, we're shooting parts off of it now. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's over. Yeah, it has failed. We have contact and a dislodged benchy. Ship down, ship down. All right. Hitting the pause. Get everything out of the way. Well, I have good bed adhesion. Oh, it's so horrendous. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. That's definitely not in focus. Where do I keep putting the mouse? Oh. Yes, that's about as focused as it's going to get. Maybe it's not out of focus. It's just that bad of a print. Oh, and now Chris Riley shows up. Hey, everybody, it's Chris Riley from Chris's Basement. Oh, you're going to have a mess if you don't stop that. It already is a mess. Oh. But yet it's still on the tape. Yeah, the first layer was very good. I remember when Joel Telling did that review of a printer that printed gummy candy. I don't remember that, but that would be awesome. Flawless. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great compliment for my new benchy, my new shifty. We've recovered the Titanic. Abstract art. First print, is that an A-net? Ouch! Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's impressive. The captain has to go down with the ship. Looks like my dog chewed on it and then gave it back. Just a little string, just hit it with a heat gun. If I didn't want to keep it so bad, I'd do that just to see what happened. Chris was busy tweeting. Glenn, do one of your maker coins. No, not until it's working right. Nothing a little TLC can't fix. The worst benchy I've ever printed. Oh, not the worst benchy. How does it compare with the Walter benchy? The SS Walter. And this is my first print, Chris. I mean, I have to keep this. Oh, let's punch this back up to where you can see me better. Because I may not be the prettiest thing, but I'm better looking than this benchy is. Well, let's just set this right up here on the shelf next to my collection of other benchies. Wow. Now we'll slide that out of the way. Well, that was a fun, epic failure. I still see it as progress. Am I keeping that one? Absolutely. It's the first print that ever came out of the printer. You better bet I'm keeping it. Titanic benchy, 106-year-old bottom of the ocean Titanic benchy. You think you hate her now? Wait till you drive it. I dubbed it the SS Chris 1. Not as good as the SS Walter, I'm afraid. I'd almost rather it be a disaster. It can only get better from here. Well, and like I said, had I worked all the magic on it beforehand and then printed and it came out so perfectly the first time, it would have looked staged. So I didn't want to put a whole bunch of work into, because I could have done calibration, at least a rough calibration, even using a ruler or whatever. On the X, Y, and Z, and I could have run an extruder calibration, but I didn't want to even put filament into that thing without it being live. I wanted all of you guys to have the chance to come and see it puke filament, puke out a benchy for the first time. So, Chris, well, one, no calibration. Two, the Z is shifting. No, I'm sorry. The X motor it's skipping steps. So I'm going to turn my acceleration down and up my current a bit and see if that helps. Otherwise, I don't really know. We'll find out. Oh, and it started. It was sliced to print at 60 millimeters a second, but it was moving way faster than that, or at least it felt like it. So the FK-1 moved on its own and squirted plastic. This is a success despite the condition of the shifty. Well, it's actually been moving on its own a lot. Like, I've been running it through a lot of tests, running the Z all the way up and down, which takes forever. I tweaked some settings to make the Z go faster, and I went to run it up, and one motor delayed and it jolted the whole axis, and it actually tweaked this lead screw a little bit, so it kind of flops in the top now, but lesson learned. But motion wise, it runs through the full motion fine. And if I give it if I run a G code to have it move fast, it moves fast, but it does skip steps. So a glut of runs here. There's always a glut of runs. Focus doesn't matter. It's still ugly. Oh, I thought it was a beautiful piece. I mean, I bet none of you guys can create a benchy like this. Here, let's do Let's do this. There, now everybody can see the ugly benchy. This is a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. All right, Walter, thanks for being here, brother. No one got time for calibration. Well, that's kind of how I felt about it. Yes. Chris, are you playing in the basement on Sunday? We were supposed to be out of town on Sunday, but it looks like I will be back, so. It's a piece, all right. Yes, but keep the family friendly. How are you keeping the printer from jumping all over the place? As far as what? Stability? This thing is rock solid. The bench wobbles. Because it's just a Harbor Freight bench and it doesn't have half the pieces underneath so that I can sit under it. But this printer is rock solid. I wasn't crazy enough to like try to climb on it and stand up on it and see, you know, if the extrusions would hold me or anything, but it holds itself just fine. Oh, that's great news, Chris. You've been missed. If it could tweak the lead screw, I guess the motors have enough torque. Yeah, they're, I think, 84 ounce motors. So yeah, it's a 48 millimeter NEMA 17. They're quite hefty. Where I went wrong is I should have got the stepper motors with the brake in it, because when they're powered off, you can like if you lean on the carriage, it'll push it down. So, and it doesn't push it down evenly, which again is another reason why I'm thinking about doing the equalizer cable on the back side as well. Want to bet my cat just left a hairball pretty close. Wow, you guys are starting to hurt my feelings. Granted, you have a ton of leverage. Yeah, but no, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to push it down. And in fact, sometimes, like if you're trying to manually adjust it and you'll run it up, it'll want to just settle back down again. So the ball screws are very, very easy to turn. Like there's no resistance in them at all. So, wow! I've seen better with a 3D pen by a science creator. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to document some of these comments and put them, you know, like with the plate, you know, with the commemorative plate with the Vinci. Wow, that's really. You know, Ron, I think that's the meanest thing I've ever read you say. Here it is. Here it is, Jake. Right. You didn't miss much. Oh, honestly, that's actually what it looked like when I sliced it. So it's a perfect print. This isn't the regular Benchy. I said, please print me a crap shifted Benchy, and that's how it slices. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But you know what? Still a very, very momentous occasion to me. For those that don't know, or those who don't remember, I have been working on this printer since, well, technically a little bit before Murph. But Murph 2018 was the point that I made the decision to do this. And you know, I again, it was supposed to be a ripoff of the G Create Big, and which is where the design started. And Gordon was the first one. When I told him that I was going to rip off his design, he told me to do it. But it was when we were in the car driving home, and I said to my wife, you know, we were talking about all the amazing things that had happened at Murph and all the conversations that we had and the different things that began. And she said, you got to do it. You got to build the printer. And I'm like, yeah, but it's going to be a lot of work and it's going to be money. And she's like, just do it. And so I owe her a lot. She's not even sitting here, and I'm saying nice things about her. It was awesome that she let me do this, and it wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for the plethora of sponsors who I should have screaming up on the screen right now, because you guys don't hear it enough from me. And I know sometimes I say it tongue in cheek, but I really mean it. Oh, that's Chris Riley. He's appreciated too. There we go. Absolutely, absolutely. So you used the new Simplify 3D? Yes, I told it was a multi-material print. I said material 1 is PLA and material 2 is air. It would be great if that were true and you're just trolling us. I didn't think about it, but that would have been pretty funny. That would have been kind of the ultimate. I'm cruel, what can I say? I don't think you have a cruel bone in your body, Mr. Floyd. The failed Benchy was intentional. It's a marketing hype for the sequel. Right, for version 2. The new and improved. Press the sponsor button. Oh yeah, you know, I gotta pay the bills. I mean, these people were kind enough to do things for me, and I wanna repay it to the maximum. And you know, I'm kind of sad. AIO Robotics and we have a really great relationship, and I really wanted to work them into this project, but the problem being, one, I already had a filament, you know, sponsor for this. They made me filament. So, and plus I wanted to keep the PLA off of the printer. Now, AIO Robotics does now make PETG, but not in Fun King 3D Yellow, unfortunately. So I was actually going to use their filament to print the first print tonight, to at least bring them in that way. But I was afraid that it was going to fail. And I didn't want the filament to get blamed, so. Oh, I'm not complaining at all. I just thought it was cool. Well, I don't officially have a sponsor, because YouTube has, like, when you get big like Joel, you can have a sponsor button. But no, it's just an overlay that I can turn on and off in OBS. Salvador Dali version of a Benji. I had to read that twice. I was trying to figure out what a Della version was, but I got you. Salvador Dali version of a Benji. Thank you, Steven. You should have started with the shipwreck Benji. Well, it would have turned out like that, and you wouldn't have been able to tell what it was. I have one of those up on the shelf. That was a fun print. You could add an AIO Robotics 3D pen for highlights on your print. Well, according to Ron Floyd, I could have used my AIO Robotics 3D pen with my eyes closed and come up with a better Benji. I meant a physical button, like an easy button, but it says sponsors. Oh, that'd be fun. Like, just like, and then they pop up on the screen. You might be famous in 100 years, Glenn. Oh, you never know. You never know. I don't want the fame. I want the fortune. No. I want I want other people to build this, which will make me feel good because I designed it, but because I want everybody to have an amazing project. And so that's why I've put the amount of work into it. I could have cheated in a lot of places. I could have used parts I already had, but I wanted to make sure it was always parts that I could source so that other people can source the exact same parts. So, Mitch, yes, you did. You missed the printing. Here it is. Oh, got to go back to that camera view. Here it is here. Here's the print. So now the next question is going to be what happened. The x-axis is skipping steps. So I'm going to turn my acceleration down and my current up, and that should help. John, you did make it in time. You made it in time to talk to me and miss the printing. Awesome build, Glenn, no matter what the first print looks like, because it printed. Absolutely. And it will get better. In fairness, I've never built my own printer from scratch before. I've never used a Duet 3D board before. I've never used a BL Touch before. I've never used a Bondtech extruder before. So it was a lot of unknowns for me that I've had to learn as I go, and you guys have been a great resource for helping out. But it's gonna get there. I got what, like 14? Is it 14 days? I don't have my keyboard. Uh, 18 days according to the countdown until Maker Faire. That doesn't seem right because it's on a Saturday. It's 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks out. Once your design gets ripped off, I mean, cloned by a Chinese company, then you know you made it big. I think this design is too expensive. And I know that they're good at cutting corners, so maybe, but I have a feeling that this whole design is entirely too expensive to be ripped off by not necessarily a Chinese company, but I don't know. I mean, I think it would be ripped off by somebody with some class. It printed on the first attempt, so that's a definite win. I agree. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful printer. So that to me is a win. The fact that the movement on it is so smooth, the equalizer cable design working as well as it did is a huge win to me. The amount of knowledge that I gained. I've been using Rhino 3D for forever, at least 20 years now. And through this project, I learned things in Rhino 3D that I had never learned before, which is a win for me. Yeah, I got a lot of knowledge out of this. Which, by the way, Mitch, I don't think I'm going to need the aluminum parts. So I don't know. We'll find out. But I think the equalizer cable took care of all of my fears on that. So. How many probe points does the BL Touch do? For me, right now, just one. Because it's not my bed. Once the actual bed is on here, then I'll do the bed mesh leveling and all of that. As far as points, I'm thinking at least 12, which will take a long time, but well done. My first custom printer didn't manage to make anything resembling a print the first time around. Keep up the good work. I'm gifted in that I'm a little bit OCD. So like I work everything to the max. It's probably overbuilt, to be honest. I probably could have done things a little bit differently, but I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry the way it is. 14 is how many, you're saying how many bed leveling points that might be? I don't know. The Creality FK-1. They don't have a CR1 yet. They'd probably call it a CR1. You know, Mitch, when I met Creality at IRF this year, and they came up and they're like, oh, we're from Creality. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. I said, please let me show you what I'm working on. And I got my I got my binder and I turned around with the cover and I said, I go, please don't rip this off from me. I actually have 10 2-meter sticks of 2040. Someday maybe. 10 2-meter sticks. Yeah, these are all, it's all 1500 millimeter and less. In fact, there's nothing on here that's 1500. It's all slightly less than. So, and is that V slot run, or is it T slot? Maybe a collaboration with Prusa? Nah, Prusa doesn't like building anything bigger. 2 questions. Will it fit through the door and down the stairs and through the front door? Absolutely. It's not really that wide. It's only about 2 feet wide. It's a little wider than my bench, so I had to put some plywood up under the feet to get it to level out. But, which by the way, when I had it flat, it teetered. And I thought, oh, where did I go wrong? But it turned out that I had 2 of the feet. I screwed the screw down too far and crushed the foot. So that was all that issue was. But and weight-wise, as of right now, I can pick it up by myself. It's bulky, but I can pick it up by myself. Once the bed goes on there, then I think that's going to be the end of that. Because, again, that's 19 pounds of aluminum. So it's cool. I'm down for machining stuff for other printers. We'll see. Murph 2019. Well, I definitely appreciate it, Mitch. I mean, it was awesome for you to offer to do that. And I mean, if things change, I'll let you know. But that's it's definitely cool of you. I appreciate it. If possible to say, what's the current cost to build one out of pocket without sponsorships? Shane, that's an awesome question and one I can't answer right now. I haven't totaled it up. I intentionally did not keep a running record of what I was spending, because I didn't want that amount to scare me into cutting corners and not doing things right. You know, there was stuff that I did and I said, oh, this isn't right, and I had to take that off and put something else on. So I spent more money than I should have on stuff. I still have a huge bag of hardware. I mean, I have tons of hardware that's just laying around that I didn't need, that I bought just in case I needed. So once I can put together an official bill of materials, and then I'll release it. But I will tell you, it's in the range of a lot to an incredible amount of money. I think you're going to have to rotate it into the living room to get it out the front door. Nah, it'll go down and right out the front door. I mean, it's only 5 feet long, and there's at least 4 feet from the banister to the front door. So I'm a lot of bit of OCD. Nobody is a little bit of OCD. I was trying to make myself feel better, Jake. I'm not OCD to the level like I have to spin around 3 times and touch the doorknobs before I can go outside. You know, not that, but like every light switch or electrical plate in my house, the screw slots all straight up and down. Stuff like that is, I guess it's more anally retentive than anything. You guys are talking too fast now. I got to scroll back up. I lost because I've seen my brother James was in here. Just waiting for an ANET AK-1 with an all acrylic frame. That will be amazing. No sound. Does it work? Oh, James, you and no sound. Let's go back over to this view. James always likes to watch me with no sound. Rover's in the house. Hello, Rover. No, James is someplace where he can watch, but he can't listen. That's why he says no sound. I have enough to do and try to manage doing troubleshooting on the Prusa FK-1. The PK-1. Sean Dragon Monk is in. Hello. I think that's part of OCD is to obsess about being OCD, not making fun of real mental disorders though. No, no, I legitimately have it. I'm not making fun of it. I legitimately am OCD. I have been for the majority of my life. It's just never been real bad, and I've learned to deal with it through the years. So, not V-slot, but for the most part of the project, V-slot isn't necessary. That is true. Only the uprights would have to be V-slot. This would have to be V-slot. And this would have to be V-slot, but unfortunately all of the parts that are modeled for V-slot. So if they have the alignment, I don't know what you'd call it, but the bump on the back that aligns it into the aluminum, it's going to be made for V-slot. I guess that would still fit in a T-slot though. I will try it. I've got some T-slot. I'll try it and find out. Your mic battery may be dying. No? No, I still got plenty of mic battery. I got good audio. Mic crackle. Well, let me change them out real quick. But I mean, they're still reading 2 bars. Could be it could just be interference. I might have to change my frequency. All right, give me 1 second. I must change the batteries. So later on, somebody else will come and watch this video and they'll want to know why they couldn't hear what I was saying. I wasn't actually saying anything. Hopefully that's better. Got all 10 for $70 shipped. That's an awesome deal, Ron. I would have bought them too. The shipping on mine alone would have been $70 had Open Builds not been kind enough to give me free shipping. All right, Brian Vines, if you're not already gone, good night. I guess if you are already gone, good night. Someone else who obsesses over screwhead orientation. Absolutely, it's got to be like nice and neat. If you watch the Winter Garden channel, he's using a PBS spreadsheet to keep track of parts and progress made. I'm going to swap 1 screw on each of your light plates for a Phillips head. Let me tell you what, I balled out the exterminator guy who was going around putting the stuff behind the plates and didn't put the screws back. And I told him, I said, if you're going to take my plates off, you're going to put the screws back. And it's all right if they're Phillips head. They just have to be, you know, square. Positioned like an X. Oh, yeah, haha, funny guy. Uncle Ron's not allowed back at my house. Looks like the present day Titanic. I noticed that my Open Builds V-slot had some scuff marks and chips, not affecting the rail, but they weren't as pristine as I'd like for that price. I had a couple that the anodizing, like it had like a couple spots where the anodizing wasn't, and then from them rubbing together when they ship, I think, I mean, they're packaged so amazingly well, but there was a couple of rub spots on them, but I've scratched them up more building the thing. I think had I gone with the clear anodizing, the silver stuff, that it wouldn't have been as bad, but I mean, I've nicked it a few times, and at first it really bothered me, but I'm over it now. I'm not OCD, but there are 21 visible tiles in the first patient room at my doctor's office, and one tile is placed the wrong way. Holy cow! Yeah, no, that would just flip me out. My father years ago was he put beaded board up on his kitchen ceiling, and one of the boards it was just like a small cut too, and it got flipped over where you couldn't see the bead, and he left it. That drove me crazy every time I was in his house. Hello, Reggie. It's going well. The benchy not so well. Yeah, I was shocked. Took me almost half a second to click buy it now. Yeah, that's a screamingly good deal. I mean, even if they're in bad shape, that would be a good deal. Then you'll have to carry the FK-1 down the stairs, and I'll meet you at the door to help you get it out of the car. I'll just pat you down, make sure you don't have a screwdriver on you. All right, guys. Well, I think that I'm going to wrap this up. I was only going to go an hour, and as always, my streams do seem to run a little long. But we got a benchy. It's not a pretty benchy, but it's a shifty. But it was definitely fun, and again, I'm so glad that all of you guys could be here with me to watch it spew filament for the first time ever. And as you all know, I will be at Orlando Maker Faire November 10th and 11th. So if you are in the area, definitely come check it out. It is a Maker Faire worth driving for. I mean, if you're anywhere in the state of Florida, South Georgia, it is worth coming to. It is a good size Maker Faire. It's not New York. It's not Bay Area size, but it is a good size Maker Faire, and they do a fantastic job putting it on. The organization there is what I feel is better than New York Maker Faire. I mean, they have proper signage. Everything just goes smoothly. It's fantastic. So if you're in the area, definitely come check it out. Show them from a Skewed View 3D will be there. Happy Extruder Ron will be there. I know there's a couple other people exhibiting, but there's also going to be a bunch of us just hanging out. Also, if you're going to be in the area, we are planning to get together on a Saturday night for a 3D printing dinner, which will be what is now being called the first inaugural FART, which would be the Florida Area Rep Rap Talking Supper. And so, yeah, definitely, if you're in the area, come check all of that out. Mitch next is getting it, is calibration for sure, and dialing in that X motor. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to up the size of that X motor, even though that's already a 48 millimeter motor. So it's got to just be, I just got to turn the current up on it. I think it's not hot, it's not running hot. So brand new Unreal, fantastic deal, Ron Floyd. Remember to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. Yes, Rover is right. Please hit that thumbs up button. It is much appreciated. And of course, if any of you guys are in here that aren't subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron Floyd. Thank you to each and every one of you, and again to my sponsors, and those of you who supported me and contributed, and a future thanks to all of you who keep tuning in to the work that I'm doing here. And we'll see you on the Twitters. I think that's all I got. There won't be a Mailbag Monday this week. I didn't have a chance to get it filmed. We normally film tomorrow, but we're going to be out of town, so there won't be a Mailbag Monday. Xander's Thing Thursday will still be on Thursday. My MakerBox video. MakerBox video will be coming out in just a couple of days. It arrived today. We'll probably shoot it on Sunday. That's it. I just want to look to see how many people are, I'm saying goodbye to. 38 of you guys. That's fantastic. I love each and every one of you guys. Be safe and be nice to one another. Thank you. And as always, print on.